And rails are the hottest things in drag racing. Take a look at this. Dodge's Little Red Wagon, a light-duty compact pickup that's been specially equipped with a famous Dodge 426 cubic inch Hemi-Charger engine. What happens when you come out of the chute with a light truck like this and over 600 horsepower on tap? Well, let's pour a little fuel in the tank. Make sure the drag chute is ready to go. And see what happens.
West Coast appearance from the Dodge Dealers Association, Bill the Maverick Holden, going to do the handling on this 426-inch Dodge powered truck, the Wildwing.
Dodge's Little Red Wagon. As pickups go, this one goes.
The automobile would be used by man to express his competitive spirit. The internal combustion engine presented backyard mechanics with hundreds of opportunities to test their mechanical ideas and skills. And a new breed of car enthusiasts was born. A small number would become professionals. But most of the new breed would compete for trophies and prizes, actually pay money to test their machines after work and on weekends. They developed better and safer methods of stopping, as well as going. They'd haul their cherished chariots across the nation to meet in open competition. And the girls would follow, for this is where the action is. It's not an astronaut leaving for outer space. It's a drag racer heading for the starting line on a strip of asphalt. Drag racers are a unique combination of designers, drivers, car owners, and mechanical genius dedicated to testing everything a car can do in a quarter of a mile. They're the test pilots of the automotive world, the Weekend Warriors. America's 50-year-old love affair with the automobile has made drag racing the nation's fastest-growing sport. Drag racing is the most dramatic test of automotive perfection, and the 10th annual NHRA Nationals, held at Indianapolis Raceway Park, were the greatest drag races in the history of the event. Tech inspection begins early Wednesday. The Speedway Shopping Center's king-sized parking lot was used to handle the mass of cars and people. 1,250 hot rods, stock models, and sports cars were inspected and placed into one of 73 classifications. Stock and sports cars are classified by car weight, divided by advertised horsepower. Competition cars are classed by a weight to cubic inch ratio. For the competitors, this is only the first of many long lines. In drag racing, preparing to run is measured in days, weeks, even months. The actual runs are measured in seconds and fractions of seconds. Hurry up and wait. That's the name of the game. But the work of the veteran NHRA inspection team is enormous and vital. The sheer weight of the logistics involved is enough to stagger the imagination. 1,250 entries and the 7,500 contestants and crew members make inspection and classification at the Nationals unique in automotive performance events. While some cars are rejected, this year's entries are the best prepared cars brought to any Nationals. Having passed inspection and classification, your entry is official, and you're the proud bearer of the contestant and crew stickers. With the auto-laden shopping center behind, competition cars enter the pit gate. There are new cars, fresh from the drawing board, ready to make their first runs. Others are proven performers, seeking another top eliminator crown. Mechanically, you try to pick up where you left off at home. Stock cars enter their private gate and head for their pits. When you feel you're ready to hit the strip, you line up again. This particular line winds up at the staging area, where hard-working officials sort and shuffle the cars into proper lanes. When staging control calls for your special class, you want to be there. There are 1,249 other guys and gals just as anxious to test the traction of Raceway's new blacktop. And this is the moment supreme. $1,816 timed runs will be made today. Back at the shopping center, they're still coming in, and will be for 3 days. The tech inspectors continue their search for safety and strict adherence to the rule book. Drag racing is a form of automotive togetherness, a fun activity shared by the whole family. It's a team effort where each individual role contributes to the victory, the excitement, or the bitter disappointment of the day. The inspection area itself is an adventure in mechanical design, ingenuity, and workmanship. And there are other attractions to watch. Winning cars are carefully weighed twice, during classification and after the winning race. And they'd better weigh the same. Before he arrived at Indianapolis, Don Garlitz and his famous Dodge-powered Winds Jammer have thrown the challenge to the Fueller Field. Earlier in the month, Don cracked the 200-mile barrier, the 4-minute mile of drag racing. His history-making run was clocked at 201.34 miles per hour, and the elapsed time was 7.78 seconds. But before any new speed records can be set, time seems to stand still for those not yet officially qualified as contestants. Move them up. Head for the next line. Push and push some more. For a sport that's appraised in horsepower, there's sure a lot of back and foot power involved. While both the stock and hot car pits are beehives of activity, those ready to run are heading for the strip. The tower at the starting line is the control center. A network of electronic equipment is used to ensure infallible accuracy in timing a drag race. As the cars move toward the starting line, the equipment is reset, ready to time the next run. With cars properly positioned, the anticipation starter, the Christmas tree, comes on. On the green go signal, they start, breaking the starting line electric I-beams, which start the time clocks. 1,320 feet later, the cars break the finish line electric I-beams, stopping the time clocks. time between the two light beams is measured to within 1/10,000th of a second. Lane lights quickly show the spectators the winning lane. On Friday, Connie Kalitta blisters the strip with a sensational run of 200 miles per hour, the first double-century performance in the 10-year history of the Nationals. Kalitta has provided proof positive that only record-shattering efforts will get the job done this year. Meanwhile, the constant tuning and last-minute adjustments continue. If you run out of daylight, it's back to the motel for night work. This crew pulled an engine and installed a new one to get ready for tomorrow's class runoffs. When you've come this far, you don't let a sick engine keep you off the strip. Dave Strickler gets set for the A Factory Experimental Class event. This class features those entries with limited production and special performance options. Two Plymouths start the action. Next up, Bill Shrewsbury and Strickler. Shrewsbury fouls. The Ramcharger's Dodge in the near lane beats the Comet. Sox wins the Battle of the Comets. Tom Grove's Melrose Missile noses out Don Nicholson. The Cyclone leaves Lonnie Dinsmore at the line as the BFX class runoffs are underway. That's the fortunes of drag racing. Fred Cutler's Hemi wagon, on the way to the VFX crown, bests David Lyall. Ed Powell's Ford meets Jim Smith's Dodge. Ed Sharkman and Mike Buckles battle down the strip, but the Ramcharger's entry takes the run. Strickler advances with another win. Jake Howard's Comet whips Ronnie Sox. And in an all-Plymouth go, the Melrose Missile leaves Henry Schrenk behind. Strickler slams through the gears. And the Dodge takes the AFX crown. Wally Parks, NHRA president, asks Big Daddy Garlitz about the combination he'll use in his quest for his first top eliminator title.
Now, Don, to say hello and congratulations and all those good things that are due to you for what you've been accomplishing. Wonder if you'd give us a little bit of a rundown here on some of the things that you think have contributed most to the new sensational performance that you've been getting out of this little machine here just in the last few months.
Well, Wally, it's a pleasure being here, as it is the last couple of years. We've been taking in the national drags up here at Indianapolis. It's a really big show, and it's the greatest spectacle in drag racing, no doubt. And about 2 months ago, we got an idea on these cars and the tires and everything that maybe the drag racing had kind of stalemated and everything got in a rut. So we made a lot of radical changes, and it just seemed to be in the right direction. It's a tire, blower, compression ratio, fuel combination that has contributed to these phenomenal 200-mile-an-hour times.
While the Strip is the scene of the action-packed runs, the roads to Raceway Park are bulging with the traffic arriving for drag racing's most exciting weekend. Some park outside the new plant. But many contestants take advantage of the camping facilities provided and staffed by the Claremont Lions Club for those unable to obtain housing. For the demand for accommodations for the Nationals exceeds that required for the famed Indianapolis 500-mile Memorial Day Classic. Conservative estimates place the revenue to the Indianapolis area from the Nationals at $1.5 million over a 4-day period. To these avid fans, the only way to race is straight down the quarter mile, head to head. They're not the way out sporty car crowd, nor the dyed-in-the-wool circle track railbirds, but they're the most knowledgeable, automotive-minded people in the nation. Sunday. Almost 50,000 drag racing fans jam Indianapolis Raceway Park to witness the action-packed trophy runs. Sam Perriott, age 62, takes the AA Modified Sports Car title with a 10.41 ET, top speed 147.54. Maynard Rupp and the Logie Stamping Streamliner number 18 and Bernie Regals meet for the A-Fuel Dragster Trophy. But Rupp starts too soon and fouls. The A and B Speed Shop rail is the winner. Here's the 1964 rematch of last year's top race between Ohio's George Montgomery in the light blue supercharged A Gasser and California's Stone Woods and Cook. Montgomery takes it again this year. The Hill and Zartman C Gasser in lane number 1 battles Larry Teeter's beautiful maroon car in lane number 2. Teeter wins the close race. In lane number 1, it's the orange pickup of Eugene Chambella, Culver City, California, against Jack Merkel from Ridgewood, New York, for the B Supercharged Gas Honors. Merkel quickly leaves his challenger behind, and 10.54 seconds later, wraps up the class title. In the C Dragster competition, number 139 went across the line, stopped. John Lundberg, the voice of the drag strip, describes the action.
Fantastic operation. The crowd is really behind this guy. Pushing his car all the way down the quarter mile by hand. And believe me, that 1,400 to 1,500 pounds of that car is going to be awfully heavy by the time he gets to the end of the quarter mile. He's moving towards the finish line now, and in just a second the wind light should go on saying he's completed the quarter mile. Elapsed time 218 seconds.
Bud Bobble has 2 new Dodges ready for the Superstock automatic runoff. Dick Landy gets set to roll his Hemi head Dodge. The lawyer, Al Ekstrand, will pilot a new Plymouth. And the crowd eagerly awaits their favorites, the big stockers to hit the strip. 8 Dodges, 7 Plymouths, and 1 Ford make up the first round. Fauble in lane number 1 battles another Dodge, Frank Perry's Guzzler. And Fauble wins at 11.73, 125.34 miles per hour. Paul Russo in the red Plymouth eliminates Arlen Banky in lane number 1. As Color Me Gone and the Lawman come to the line. Linda Moog fouls, and Al Ekstrand strokes it to move to the next round. Dick Landy's California Dodge beats Bill Hanyon's Plymouth. Forrest Pitcock's Golden Commando makes the next round an all Mopar show as he shuts off the Bob Showcross Ford. Charlie Smith and his injected Altered are pushed to the line for the trophy run. Charlie slams the door on the good neighbor policy as he beats Bill Kidd from London, Ontario, Canada. Chuck Seabrook in lane number 1 fouls, and Kay Sissel of Rosemead, California in lane number 2 becomes the D Altered King. For top AA Street Roadster honors, it's the Ventura Motor Olds-powered machine against the Yellow Jack 2 from New Jersey in lane number 2. Dick Gazen wins in lane number 1 for the Ventura crew. Only 8 of the big stockers are still in contention for the Super Stock Automatic Crown as Jim Thornton of the Ram Chargers in lane number 1 meets Jerry Austin and the Nice Guys in the far lane. And the Ram Chargers move into the semifinals in a close match with the Decatur, Illinois Dodge. The Golden Commando's Forrest Pitcock and his Plymouth from Detroit are at the line to challenge Bud Fauble's Dodge from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. And Pitcock takes it with an ET of 11.57. Top end speed, 126.70. Paul Rossi's Westbourne entry beats Bob Harrop with an ET of 11.63. Virginia's Dan Smoker wins over John Dalafiore from Michigan. The B-modified production trophy run is at the line. And Jesse Piet's Corvette wins the class honors with an ET of 12.12, beating Ken Vogt's Ford. In the AA competition trophy run, Al Bergler's Chrysler-powered Austin takes home the prizes. Top end speed, 170.45, and an elapsed time of 9.11. That's moving down the strip. Mercury Comet running in B-fuel dragster class. As the shifty doctor Jack Watson catches the action. The Super Stock Automatics return for the semifinals and the trophy. It's Plymouth against Plymouth as Dan Smoker's Big Red loses to the Golden Commando from Detroit. The Candy Stripe Ram Chargers Dodge, driven by Jim Thornton, takes on Paul Russo's Plymouth. Thornton wins it with a top speed of 128.93 miles per hour and an 11.26 ET and moves into the finals against the Golden Commando, driven by Pitcock. Pitcock in lane number 2 is first out of the hole, but the Commando red-lighted and the Dodge takes the trophy run. Meanwhile, the dragster pit area is still the world's busiest open-air garage. The smell of nitro fills the air as the crews fill the small fuel tanks with their private brands of pop. Wherever possible, fuel tanks and fuel lines are located ahead of the engine. Adjustments are made to compensate for temperature and humidity. The search for another 1/10 of a second continues. This year, dragster drivers are required to pass a driver's test and receive a special driver's license before they can compete. A succession of class winners delight the eager fans. The AA gas dragsters are next on the line. Roy Davis in lane number 1 meets Ron Abbott in lane number 2. Davis puts Abbott on the trailer with an ET of 8.72 seconds. In the trophy run, Roy Davis in the near lane meets Pete Robinson from Atlanta. Davis blows, and Sneaky Pete's the victor. Staging control calls for the Super Stalkers. Butch Leal, the California youngster, takes on the High Risers Thunderbolt. Watch it! And Leal moves into the finals. Don Turner and the Ed Martin Thunderbolt whip the Al Swenson entry. And Don gets his chance against Leal. But Butch Leal grabs the win with an elapsed time of 11.76. Don Garlitz checks the strip and running conditions as the call goes out for the fabulous AA fuel competition. This is what the crowd has been waiting for. 17 of the nation's best cars answer the first round call and set the stage for the cliff-hanging races that follow. In lane number 1, Wiley Fallon and the Shreveport Dragway Special challenge Don Garlitz. Fallon counted the yellow lights, but never saw the green. He fouled as Garlitz covered the quarter mile in 7.80 seconds. Joe Schubeck in the far lane and Jim Dunn in the near lane. As a slow-motion camera records the start line drama, Schubeck backs off to regain control, but wins as Davis blows in the lights. Next up is Connie Kalita in lane number 1, and Bobby Bodnick, last year's top eliminator, in lane 2. That's burning rubber. Traction's the name of the game. Here's Odie's flaming AA Alders.